My name is Marisa Stone with Simon Says Social and the Systems Lounge, and I want to welcome you today to the 2017 Business Systems Virtual Summit, where you get to learn all about the systems that our speakers use to get things done. And I am so excited to have my friend, colleague, and mentor, Bailey Richert here. She is going to talk to us all about virtual summits and why you should use them inside your business. So let me tell you a little bit about Bailey. She is a business coach who helps individuals launch profitable online enterprises as infopreneurs, is what she calls them. Respected experts in their field, creating value and generating income by sharing their life experience, their knowledge, and their passion with others in a manner that supports their own ideal lifestyles. And today, Bailey is going to talk with us about one of the ways in which she teaches her clients to do this through virtual summits. Bailey, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here.
It's so exciting to be here.
Awesome. So let's begin at the beginning. For those of us who maybe have never even heard of this, what is a virtual summit?
Absolutely. Well, the people who are watching this video are watching a virtual summit right now. It's basically like an online conference. So if you think of, a conference you might travel to, you will go and you'll stay at a hotel and you're going to see a whole bunch of speakers and experts giving presentations on stage. You'll take notes and then you'll travel home and you'll apply those lessons to your life and to your business. Well, a virtual summit is the same kind of concept. There's a whole bunch of speakers that come together to deliver amazing content to an audience. Only the entire thing is done online or virtually. So it eliminates the need for the audience to have to travel. It eliminates the need for the organizers to have to get a hotel and have, food and everything available to the attendees. So it's just this awesome learning experience online.
Right. That is fantastic, especially if you're running on a limited budget, but you still need that information. You don't have to travel to go get it. You can just log in every day, which is really cool. So what's your viewpoint? Why should entrepreneurs consider hosting a virtual summit?
Virtual summits are awesome for so many different reasons. I'm sure the first reason many people have thought of or they've heard of is that they are an amazing email list building activity. So in order to get the information to the individuals that want to watch on the summit, those people, those audience members are going to have to sign up or opt in with their email address in order to get the information about the event. And that's how the host is going to be able to collect those email addresses. So that's really one of the primary ways that your business can benefit from this, but there's so many others. Revenue, of course, you can make money hosting a summit. The ability to connect with influencers that you're going to ask to be guest speakers on your event is a fantastic way to expand your business network and to really grow that way. Plus, there's this sort of intangible benefit, which should not be underestimated, though, in that you are establishing yourself in your niche. You're bringing so much attention to your business. You're bringing in tons of new leads and therefore opportunities. So a lot of times people talk about the benefits of the summit itself, but even after the summit, I've personally experienced and seen a ton of my clients who've done summits experience the same thing, where they get asked to be on podcast interviews. They get asked to be on other people's summits. People will approach them for coaching. There's so many amazing things that happen to a person's business even after the summit is over.
Nice. Very nice. So tell us a little bit about your experience. It sounds like you're pretty experienced with virtual summits. Give us a little insight into what you've done and how virtual summits have impacted you in your business.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, I decided to run my very first virtual summit after being an attendee on a couple of other people's summits. And I saw this as an incredible opportunity because these people were growing their businesses in all the ways I just mentioned. And I said, I want to do that. I'm going to try it. Yeah. And admittedly, I didn't have a lot of experience when I first started out. I was trying this brand new strategy and I sort of went into it with an attitude of, well, if this works, I'll be super excited and that'll be amazing. But if it doesn't, it's a learning experience and I'll move on. But I was blown away. Even an inexperienced summit host like myself at the time was able to get such incredible results. That first time I ran my summit, I grew my email list by 4 figures. I also made 4 figures in revenue from that first event. And I just thought, I've hit a gold mine. I literally have figured out a marketing strategy that works for me, a way that gives me all the things that I want in a pretty short amount of time but it's not sleazy. It's like a legitimately authentic way to grow my business and my network. And so once I did that first summit, I immediately turned around and said, I'm doing this every year. I'm going to keep doing this. And so we just launched my summit's called the Infopreneur Summit. So we just launched the Infopreneur Summit a couple of months ago, and in 2017, and it worked out amazingly. And I'm already planning on it for the 2018 year as well. And basically, I had so many people approach me about my summits because they had said, I've been to a lot, but yours are so different and they're so helpful. Like, I think it's one of the best ones. Can you teach me? And so I originally I wasn't going to teach summits. Like, that wasn't a part of the plan, like at all. It was just, I originally started by kind of sharing some free content about it, like things I learned and like, okay, here's some tips. And then I just really saw a huge need because people kept asking me, and I was like, I can't keep giving away all this information for free anymore. So I created my course, Virtual Summit School, and was able to put all that knowledge in one place. And then I also started offering VIP services to help people put summits on. And so it's actually grown into a pretty substantial part of my business, like all within the past year and a half.
Nice, nice. So you sort of kind of talked a little bit about this. How can a virtual summit truly impact my business? It sounds like I can certainly make money. It sounds like I can't, I'm able to create a whole new area, even in my own business, that I'm maybe teaching or supporting other entrepreneurs who are building their business. What are some of the other ways that a virtual summit can impact my business? I guess what I'm trying to ask is, why should I even consider this, especially if I'm new?
Sure. So here's a couple of reasons you should definitely consider a summit. First of all, it's relatively fast. In my processes, I teach people that they can put a summit together in just 90 days. And that's not a gimmicky, get it done. It really does only take 90 days. That's how I did my first summit. That's exactly, I can teach you how to do that. And so 90 days is an incredibly short period of time to skyrocket your business. If you were going to try to accomplish the same kind of things with paid ads or even organic content, you are not going to receive those kind of results that quickly. So in that short amount of time frame, it's truly incredible. But I also feel that summits are fantastic, not just for all those tangible benefits we talked about, the revenue, the email list, all that stuff. It's so important for especially a new business owner to establish themselves in their niche, to show up and to say, I'm here, this is what I do, this is what I'm all about. And it's basically like this incredible launch activity, for your business, or if you're going to have a new program or something like that, because you're just really putting yourself out there in a way that you probably would not be doing if you weren't doing a summit, and you were getting such incredible visibility in front of so many people so quickly. Because somebody might say, well, can't I accomplish the same thing if I do a Facebook Live every day for a month, Well, those strategies are awesome, and you should still be doing all that stuff. But when you do a summit, you're bringing people in from all of your guest speakers' audiences. You are literally going to have thousands of people watching you and watching your videos. And I don't really know of that many other strategies that can get so many eyes on you and your content so soon, so quickly, in so, concentrated of a time as when you put your summit on. And so it really is going to just establish you. And there's so many people out there, clients that I work with every day that say I've been trying to build my business for years, but this is so slow going. And I'm like, let's launch a summit because it's going to happen so fast and it's really going to take you to where you need to go. Yeah.
One of the things I've noticed in hosting this virtual summit is I feel like there's also an added level of, I don't even know how to describe it, but basically it's not just me preaching to my clients what they need to be doing anymore. It's all these other experts in these different areas that are also saying, here's a system, here's something you can do where you are utilizing this tool or this process to accomplish your goals. And I'm loving that.
It's so cool because on a summit, I feel like you get two additional things from having those speakers on. It's number one, you don't have to be the expert in everything. you get to bring so much amazing additional content to your audience that you would not really have taught them or exposed them to if it was just you.
Right.
And that's totally okay, because nobody expects you to be an expert in 100% of everything. You can't be if you're going to be effective.
No.
And so you can bring in all these other people to teach on topics, and your audience loves that.
Yeah.
But then also on the things you do teach on, and you have speakers there backing you up and bringing credibility to what you are saying.
Yeah.
So, it's really awesome, because when other people see these speakers on your summit alongside your face, they associate you guys. They think that you're friends, or at least business colleagues, or at least willing to, do collaborations together. And there's that instant sort of, in the mind of the attendees, you and that guest speaker on the same level. So it's bringing credibility to your business as well. And there's really no substitute for that. It's just, a summit or something like that is really what you have to do to get that kind of credibility.
Right. I totally agree. So, and you've alluded to this a little bit, but I really want you to talk about this for a minute. For those who feel like I really haven't built up my name in my field yet, I'm kind of an unknown in the space. Can I still host a virtual summit?
Yes. Like, I tell people this all the time, because they say to me, well, I'm just a beginner. I can't do a summit. And I say, you're wrong. You're flat out wrong. A summit is for beginners.
Right.
A summit is for people that need to establish themselves, that need to do something to launch their business to the next level, that really need to get out there in the world and say, hey, pay attention to me. I'm here. Look at me. I have something valuable to offer, and I am on the level with these other people. And so for those people who are worried that, they don't have a big enough network, don't worry about that. You will find people for your summit. There are always people out there, no matter what niche you're in, that want to be on summits, that want that exposure, that want to collaborate, that are looking to be a part of that. And so summits are totally for beginners. People out there watching, if you're thinking, I don't have enough or anything like that, well, that's the whole point, is that summits are supposed to help you get all the stuff you're lacking faster.
Yes, I totally agree completely. That is, you are dead on. It definitely makes a huge difference for you if you're trying to put your name out there. So let's talk for a minute about the know, like, and trust factor. How can hosting a summit, and you've alluded to this somewhat in the way that it helps you to get on the level of other influencers in your field, but what are some ways in which hosting a virtual summit can build the know, like, and trust factor in my audience?
Sure. Well, I think a big part of it is the video, right? Is that whenever you're using video as a medium to communicate with your audience, they're able to see you and your authentic personality. Yeah. And so when you are putting out during a summit so much video content all at once, there is just this awesome influx of like people in the audience kind of getting to know you. Like, especially since virtual summits people are watching at home, it's like you're showing up in their living room, on their computer screen or on their TV screen, however they're watching, a couple of times a day for an entire week, for example, if that's how long you're doing your summit. Right. So there is this, this building of the know, like, and trust through the video to begin with. But then the way that summits are designed is that normally you give everybody who's viewing a certain amount of free content, and then there's upgrade options for people to get even more content. Right. And so when you're giving your audience this incredible free content, there's so much value in that. Yeah. And so for people who are really trying to learn more, when you give them, these tons and tons of free interviews, they are so thankful and appreciative. And it's a huge trust builder there that you're saying, I'm not going to charge you for all of this awesome stuff. If you'd like to upgrade, I'd appreciate it. I'd be grateful. And I'm going to give you even more stuff. Right. But I'm still just going to show you how much value I have to offer you without you even having to spend a penny. Right. And there is huge trust that gets built in when that happens.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that there are some people that kind of, we were talking about this earlier, that kind of don't really understand all that is involved in putting a summit together. So they look at you and they go, oh, well, why aren't you giving all this away for free? Well, having those different, tiers inside your summit makes sure that you're touching the audience no matter where their budget is. And so I think that's very, very important for people to understand, is nobody's asking you to do all this for free. You can make money doing it, but part of the whole point of this is to build your business, build your list, and pull people in and share that value with them that they truly need. So yeah, totally agree. So, okay, I've decided that I'm going to host a summit. How in the world do I decide on a theme or a topic or a name? Like, how do I start?
Awesome. Okay, so some of the things that you've touched on are the logistics of your event, and you are starting in the right place, because the three, I teach that you can launch a summit in 90 days, and I basically divide that into three 1 month phases. So a month. And the very first month is all about planning. So those first steps are about figuring out those logistics. Now, one of the first things that I definitely do suggest is that you do have sort of this umbrella theme over your entire event. And the way that I would encourage you to think about this is, what do you really want to be known for? So whatever you are going to establish your summit in is going to be the thing that people are going to start to associate you with. Right. And so your summit is all about business systems. People are going to start thinking about you as the business systems girl. And that's great, because I know that's exactly what you do in your business, and that's exactly what you want to be known for. So let me give you another example. My summit's called the Infopreneur Summit. Now, as a business coach, I teach lots of things. People come to me about summits. They come to me about online courses or self-publishing. I could have done a summit on any one of those smaller things. Like, I could have done like a self-publishing summit, but I don't want to be known as just the self-publishing girl, because that's only a small fraction of all the things I teach and all the things that I do. Right. So the Infopreneur Summit, where I can talk about a lot of different things all under one main umbrella theme, is so much better, because now when people hear the word infopreneur, they automatically think of me. They think of me as the business coach for beginning and budding infopreneurs, because that's my job title and that's what I am. So I would caution people to really think hard about what it is that they want to be known for. And also picking a kind of broader, still specific enough, but broad enough umbrella theme is going to give you the ability to entertain lots of subtopics. On this summit of yours, this business system summit, you're talking about lots of stuff, right? You're talking about so many different kinds of tools and so many different ways to grow your business, but it's all under the theme of business systems. So when you pick your umbrella theme as well, it needs to be big enough that you can kind of talk about lots of different things underneath it, and not just have every single speaker talking about the same stuff over and over again, because otherwise the content is going to be really, really boring, and nobody's going to want to watch 20 interviews on the same thing. So that's basically how it works, is that you have that big umbrella theme topic, and then you have every speaker talking about a smaller individual unique topic underneath that.
Right. That makes so much sense. Thank you. I appreciate that. So how in the world do I begin to reach out to some of the speakers that I would like to have inside my summit?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, let me say that when it comes to reaching out to speakers, it's a numbers game. There are going to be people that are going to say no to you. And this totally freaks out a lot of beginners, because they are so afraid of getting the no. Guys out there, I have been doing summits for years and I still get no's. Like, my Infopreneur Summit is really gaining so much traction and kind of getting like more famous, and I still get no's from people, and that's okay. There's so many reasons that people say no to you, because right now they're supporting something else in their business and they don't have time to be a part of your event, or they just really don't know you well enough. Like, that relationship hasn't been built up enough, so they're not ready, but maybe in the future. Or maybe there's something in their personal life. Like, you have no idea what's going on with people. So when they say no, don't take it personally, which means that if you have a target number of people that you want to get on your summit, maybe it's like 30, which I think is like the max that you should probably aim for like a first summit. You're going to need to have a list in your mind of like more than 30 people, because some people are going to say no. So recognize it's a numbers game, first of all. And then my tips for reaching out to speakers is it's totally fine to connect with them and sort of prime the relationship on social media. Like, follow them on social media, send them some friend requests, like their content, respond to their tweets, like all that stuff is totally fine. And it's a good way to kind of start getting to know them a little bit more. But when it comes to the official ask of wanting them to be on your summit, always do it in private, always do it over email, because that gives them the ability to say no in a private space if they want to say no. It's always more professional. And when you reach out to them, the very first email that you send should not be like a 3-page email with all of the summit details. That it comes across very like you're assuming they've already said yes, and nobody likes that.
Right.
They might not really know who you are. You know, you might need to have a few emails back and forth. So the first email I recommend, always make it really short, you know, something super to the point, include a little bit of flattery, maybe a little bit of how you know them or like how you're connected. And then say, you know, I have this incredible event, this virtual summit that I'm going to be putting on in a couple of months, maybe say like October, like if you know the date, you know,
Right.
and you can say, I would love to interview you for this because I know that you could bring so much value to my audience about, you know, and then name the topic that they're an expert in. Like show that you've done a little bit of research about them. You know, if someone came to me and said, I would love to interview you about Facebook ads, I don't do that. I would know for a fact that they never researched me, and you'd be surprised, but that happens. And those emails go straight in the trash.
Yeah.
And so then I would just say at the end of the email, you know, there are going to be speaker perks, like you'll get, you know, a free all access pass, and there's a commission structure, just like a couple incentives to like let them know there's going to be some cool stuff if they want more information.
Right.
And then, you know, could I send you some more information about this? You know, a couple of paragraphs, short and sweet, get to the point is how I recommend that you reach out for the first time.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And the other thing I was thinking about as you were talking is, you know, if you already know your umbrella topic and you've kind of got it in your head, the things that you want to cover, you can be very, very specific about who you're reaching out to. Knowing that you're an expert in virtual summits, I absolutely wanted you in this, in the Business Systems Summit, right? Because this
Definitely.
is a way to build your business. So it also helps you by making that list ahead of time. It helps you figure out, instead of trying to do it backwards where you don't even really know what's going to be in your content until after you've done the interviews or after you've pulled in speakers. You know, this way you're being much more proactive about it, and you know where you're lacking, different speakers. So you can really be, very, very proactive about who you're choosing. So that's another thing I like about that method.
I completely agree with you. Having an idea of your content first is going to allow you to really put together the best event for your audience. So I completely agree with that 100%. And one other thing I like about that strategy is that if you are specific, when you email someone and you say, I'd love to interview about summits or Facebook ads or whatever, you are making it easier for the guest speaker to say yes.
Right.
Like when you emailed me and said, I want to interview you about summits, I'm going to say yes. And it's not just because I know you. It's because the topic is really specific. It's something I want to talk about and I like to talk about because I want to be viewed as a summit expert. Mm-hmm. You've made it really easy. Like as the host, we want to make it easy for the guest speakers to say yes, make it easy for them to do the interview, like make everything easy. The harder you make it for them, and be like, I don't know, what do you want to talk about? Like, what do you do? I don't even know. Like, that's going to make it harder and put up so many more barriers to getting the interview done.
Yeah. Yeah. And that brings up another point. And I know we're coming to the end of this interview, but that brings up another point. You're talking about, I call it make it stupid simple, right? Because people are busy. And if you give them any reason in which to say, oh, I've got too much going on, forget it. It's not going to happen. Provide what you're asking them to talk about in the way of a topic. Ask them to send you some bullet points. Create your own questions around those bullet points they send. Don't expect them to run the entire thing for you. Do it for them. And then create that swipe file that they can use to promote. And, add in all the emails they need. Add in all the graphics they need. Add in everything they need to make it really, really simple for them to be able to support you and share their talk with their audience, because that's really what they're interested in doing.
Yes, absolutely. You totally nailed it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I know that we are coming to the end of this interview, and I know we're going to dive much, much deeper in the next one. But is there anything else that we need to know about virtual summits before we let you go?
Just that virtual summits, like I said, they are for beginners. They are not as hard as you think. You can get amazing results and within a relatively short time frame. So if it's something that you've seriously never considered before, I highly suggest you look into it. And if you're on the fence about thinking about doing it, take the leap. Because at the end of the day, have the same attitude that I had when I went into my very first one. If you get amazing results, then awesome. If you don't, you can move on. But I guarantee you that you will, because it's almost like a foolproof method. So that's what I would say.
Very cool. Thank you so much. So how can people reach out to you? Perhaps access some of your resources, get involved with you, maybe go to your virtual summit school. How can they reach out to you?
Yeah, thanks. So everything that I have is at BaileyRichert.com, and there's a contact page there if people want to email me as well. If you're interested in learning about Virtual Summit specifically, I would suggest that you go to virtualsummitschool.com. That very first homepage is going to give you the opportunity to opt in for a free set of resources where you can download an ebook, a planning worksheet, a checklist, all about summits. You can learn more about my process and how to get started. It's a really great resource. I think that you'll like that. So that's virtualsummitschool.com.
Thank you so much, Bailey. Guys, there's also a link below where Bailey is sharing some of her resources. Take advantage of these. Even if you're not quite sure if you're ready to do your own virtual summit yet, take an opportunity to utilize some of these resources and learn a little bit about it. Because let me tell you what, virtual summits are totally the way to go. It's a little crazy, a little hectic, a little chaotic, a little bit overwhelming, but I'm loving everything that I'm doing, connecting with these speakers, connecting with these professionals in the field, and it has been an amazing opportunity. So take advantage of that for yourself and get your business system in place to run your own virtual summit. Thank you so much, Bailey. I appreciate you being here. And guys, we will see you in the next interview. Bye, everyone.